All right, today we're going to dive into the latest earnings call from Fiem Industries. They're a huge player in automotive lighting, and we're going to see exactly what's fueling their recent, and I mean record-breaking success.
You know, if you ride a motorcycle or a scooter in India, chances are pretty high you're looking at the road through one of their headlamps. They are absolutely massive. But seeing their products every day is one thing. The real question is, how's the business actually doing? Well, let's find out.
So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with their absolutely stellar quarter, then we'll break down the key numbers, we'll look at the two-wheeler boom that's making it all happen, see how they're planning to move into the car market, and then wrap up with some really tough questions from investors.
Okay, first things first, the big headline. Fiem Industries just had a quarter that's, well, one for the history books. Let's really get into the story behind these fantastic results.
That's right. It's not an exaggeration. Fiem just posted the single most profitable quarter in the company's entire history. This record performance really sets the stage for everything else we're about to talk about. So, the big question is, how did they pull this off? Let's get into the numbers and see how this all adds up. I'm going to walk you through the three most important figures from their latest report. First off, let's talk sales growth. We're looking at a jump of over 16% compared to last year. What that tells you is that they're selling a lot more stuff and really expanding their reach in a big way. Next up, their EBITDA margin. Now, this is just a key measure of their core profitability, and for the first time ever, it crossed 14%, hitting a new record. This shows they're not just selling more, they're doing it with incredible efficiency. And all that efficiency, well, it goes straight to the bottom line. Their profit grew by a staggering, and I mean staggering, 33.83%. This just proves their strong sales are converting into some serious profit. And you can really feel the excitement from the top brass. The company's CFO, OP Gupta, even called it out on the earnings call, just to emphasize what a huge deal this level of operational efficiency really is for them. Okay, so the numbers are obviously impressive, but what's the story behind them? Well, the answer starts with their core business, which right now is absolutely booming. You have to understand, the entire two-wheeler industry in India is on fire right now. Production is up 15% from last year, and it's on track to beat its all-time high. So when your biggest customers, guys like TVS and Honda, are doing great, you do great with them. Fiem's success is riding this huge market wave. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Look at this. TVS production is up 17%, Honda's up 18%, and Fiem's sales growth, right there at 16.22%. They are perfectly in sync with their key partners. It shows they're not just growing, they're holding their ground with the biggest players in the game. But here's the thing, Fiem isn't just sitting back and enjoying the ride. They're using their two-wheeler business as this rock-solid foundation to make a really calculated and ambitious move into the four-wheeler market. And that brings up a massive strategic question, right? How does a company that has totally mastered motorcycle lighting even begin to break into the incredibly competitive world of cars? It's a whole different ballgame. Well, it turns out they have a really clear three-step plan. First, they're starting small, supplying simpler components to big names like Mahindra to build credibility. Second, they're taking on more complex parts for iconic models to build trust. And third, they're aiming for the very top by talking with global luxury giants. And get this, that big aim is already starting to pay off. A top-level team from Mercedes, we're talking senior folks from Germany, visited Fiem's plant, and they've approved it as a potential global supplier. That is a massive vote of confidence and a huge sign for their future in the car business. Now, of course, no business story is all sunshine and rainbows. During the investor Q&A, management got hit with some tough questions about recent factory fires and the fierce competition. Let's see how they handled it. First up, the elephant in the room. The company had fire incidents at more than one of their plants, which is obviously a huge concern for anyone investing. So, what happened? So, management tackled this head on. They said the cause was a short circuit. The most important thing, nobody was hurt. They also made it clear that there was no loss of business. Insurance claims are in the works, and to make sure this doesn't happen again, they're bringing in outside experts to audit safety across all of their plants. Another tough question was about a key competitor whose growth with a customer they share, Honda, looked way higher. Fiem's answer was pretty interesting. They said, look, it's not an apples-to-apples comparison. It all comes down to something they call model mix. So, what is model mix? Basically, it's all about which specific bikes or scooters a company makes parts for. So, if a competitor has an exclusive deal for a new model that just happens to sell like crazy one quarter, their growth numbers are going to look inflated. Fiem was clear that their overall market share with Honda is actually holding steady.
Okay, so let's zoom out and put this all together. In the past, Fiem totally dominated two-wheeler lighting. Right now, they're enjoying record profits and incredible efficiency. And for the future, the focus is all on cars and advanced electronics, all while guiding for some really strong, sustained growth of 15 to 20%.
Which brings us to the final thought here. Fiem has absolutely proven it can light up the world of two-wheelers. The company is efficient, it's profitable, it has a clear plan, but the big question remains. Can it take all that expertise and successfully go head-to-head with the established giants in the super competitive global four-wheeler market? That is going to be the story to watch.